What's up, everybody? I know, long time no see. There's a lot to talk about and a lot of things. Just know that I have been incredibly busy taking care of things far more important than trying to keep up with the idiocy that is the Biden administration. But hear me out and send this to as many people as possible because I'm almost positive that they're going to pull this video. But this has gotten so ridiculous. No matter what side you're on, you have to understand and realize how out of proportion the media is blowing all of this. And it's like every time they get a chance and they start to feel a little power slipping away, especially when old Joe makes a mistake on the teleprompter or he falls asleep in a meeting, or he reads the teleprompter when it says end quote, when he's supposed to be acting like he's talking off the hip. This man is so degenerately senile. I wanted to say crazy, but I can get with a crazy president. You've got to be crazy to run the entire free world the right way and to be able to take all of the hate. This man is just not even there. I've read post after post of everybody talking about how all of their friends in other countries can't believe that Americans still listen to mainstream media because they realized a long time ago that it was nothing but propaganda and that was always going to be lied to. We've got to realize in America that everything that comes through in the news, everything that comes through in the Post, even from Fox News, no offense, but Fox News still reports from a slant. And all of my Reality Unplugged listeners know that I'm a right-wing conservative. I believe in all of that. You know how that goes. But even these media, they're going to pander to their specific listeners. All right? Here's the deal. I have not dealt with one thing that I have read in the media that has supposedly been a tragedy or an emergency in my everyday life. The only time it comes up is when I look at a news feed and I listen to somebody talk about how bad it is, and then I try to figure out how we can fix it, only to realize later that I've never even had to deal with it. No one I know has had to deal with it. I've got friends across the country working to feed the hungry and to heal the sick and to reach out to people in need. And not one of them deals with these things. They take these isolated events and they try to blow them up because they only know how to run through fear. But this is just funny, okay? So, COVID-19 came through, and it's going to destroy the world. First off, I just listened to an incredible interview where the British Cardiology Center was quoted from a whistleblower as saying that they have found a direct link, and this is the part that's going to get my video shut down, so spread it as fast as you can, between COVID vaccinations and a hike of a 5% risk to a 25% risk of heart attack in vaccinated patients, because the genetic altering in the Moderna vaccine increases what is already an underlying problem in most people that would eventually have pulmonary problems. It exacerbates it. These people constantly preach getting rid of the weak so that the strong can survive. When you have so many Americans who are already at risk of heart attack, how do you get rid of a big part of the population? You find a way to exacerbate what is already a potential pulmonary problem. I don't want to freak out my Christian friends and all that, but you have to understand, a long time ago, there was a show called Death Note. And a lot of the kids will talk about it. You say Death Note in front of a millennial, they know what you're talking about. And the way that they like to kill off their enemies without being tracked was to give them a heart attack. Because then you can just write either natural causes or pulmonary issue exacerbated by COVID-19. Okay, so past that. Let's go on to the fact that everyone started being a little less afraid of the COVID-19 virus because we were seeing a plateau in numbers. Now, obviously, in denser populated cities, people were still getting high rates of infection because people just refuse to spread out. Go across the country, drive across the plains of the Midwest. You'll realize that there is so much room for humanity to spread. Overpopulation is not a problem. Overpopulation in cities is a problem because all these people like to come together because it's easier to commit crime when you're right next to people. Anyways, everybody started slacking off in their fear of COVID-19. So what do? We've discovered a new variant that's coming through that's even more dangerous. That's not how viruses work, by the way. Viruses do not evolve into something more dangerous. As they spread and they evolve, they lose the fierceness and the ferocity of their infections. That's why the influenza virus was such a plague, and now it's just a seasonal issue. By the way, still killing a lot of people, but we don't talk about that because everyone's used to it. So we have to come out with a new variant. Now we have a Delta variant. And now we have what was the other one? The California variant, all those other things. Anytime they start to feel control, slip away from them, used to just bring up something else about Trump, that way to make everybody mad. Well, Trump's been gone too long, and you can't really bring it up so much and stir people up. Now, the only thing we know is to scare people more with COVID. Well, we told them the cases are increasing. It's not working. Tell them there's a new variant. And now, today, the Omicron variant. I'm serious. I mean, come on. How dense do you have to be to sit there and list some cartoon? This is the extinction variant. Are we going to come up with the plague variant next or whatever? How much is it do you got to go through when you can't scare people into doing what you want anymore, and you just keep on exacerbating and you keep on coming up with these grandiose names for some disease? How about you inspire people to change by doing positive things? Instead of you keep making all of these big long lists of bills that you want to pass that you know no one's going to have time to read, and you just give it a name like the CARES Act or something sweet that it just seems bad if you vote against it. Well, why wouldn't you want the Fairness Act or the Voter Protection Act? Because there's no voter protection in it. There's fraud protection. There's tons of voter fraud protection in it. Have you ever read it? It's great. Live your life. Stand up to the fear. Get a hold of your congressman. Get a hold of your local news station and tell them that you will not put up with this fear mongering. By the way, I was so proud of my company, and no, I will not name them here. But when Joe Biden tried to sign the mask mandate and the COVID vaccination mandate to tell everybody with over 100 employees that they had to get vaccinated, my company said we believe in our employees' freedom of choice. And we are, as of yet, not changing any of our policies. Wake up, America. This is Reality Unplugged.